Hey, what's up, Loopers? My name is Matt McCoy. I'm the founder of loopcommunity.com. And I know what it feels like to feel completely overwhelmed of how in the world do I set up all this stuff? How do I connect my tracks to my sound system so that my band can hear a click and that the tracks are played through the front of house for the audience to hear? It can seem really intimidating and overwhelming figuring out how in the world am I going to connect this to my sound system. So today in this tutorial, I'm going to break it down and make it really simple for you on how do you actually connect your computer for Ableton Live or Prime running on your Mac or your iPad. How do you connect that to your sound system so that everybody hears what they need to hear? So I've got everything on this table here that we're going to need to do this very simply. I've got Prime running on my iPad. And then all you need is this cable. And this is a cable that goes from a headphone jack and it splits to 2 1/4-inch cables, all right? You can get this cable for like $7 on Amazon, all right? Now, here's a little bit of audio 101. Some people think, well, my headphone jack on my iPad, since it only has one jack, that means I only have one out. But actually, your headphone jack has 2 outs because it has the left side and it has the right side. Kind of like when you wear a pair of headphones. There's the left side of the audio and there's the right side of the audio. So what we've done in Prime is we've made it very easy where that the click and the cues, these red faders here, they're automatically panned to the left side of your headphone jack. The blue faders, which are all your instrument tracks, those are automatically panned to the right side of your headphone jack. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this cable and we're going to come out of our iPad using the headphone jack. I'm going to plug that into my iPad. And this cable splits the headphone jack into 2 different sides, the left side and the right side. The left side will have all my click and cues, those red faders in Prime. The right side, which you can always remember with these cables is red is right. The right side will have all my tracks. So it's auto-panned for you. Now all we have to do is figure out how to come out of this and plug this into your sound system. And this is really simple. We're going to use 2 direct boxes. You probably have a couple of these lying around in your church closet somewhere. It's what you would plug your acoustic guitar into or maybe a keyboard. You just need 2 direct boxes and you're going to label one of them click and the other one you're going to label loop or tracks. So the click is what the band is going to hear because your band wants to stay in time with the click track, right? So the band needs to hear this. And your audience or congregation, they need to hear the tracks. You want to make sure they don't hear this because that might be a little awkward if everybody in the crowd can hear the click and the cues. So we're going to get 2 direct boxes and we're going to go ahead and plug in these cables into those direct boxes. So the left side is my click. So let's go ahead and plug that into the click direct box. And my right side are my tracks. I'm going to plug that into the track direct box. And now we need to plug these direct boxes into our sound system. We're going to use these XLR cables. So you need 2 XLR cables. The first one we're going to do is we're going to get the tracks to the front of house. So I'm going to plug in the XLR to the track direct box. And then you're going to plug the other end of this XLR cable into your snake. Maybe there's a snake on your stage, or maybe your stage has floor pockets where you can plug in your snake, or you can go right into the soundboard. Plug that into one of the channels on your soundboard, and then tell your sound guy to crank it, because now you got to start thinking of this as another instrument in your band to help your band sound huge, all right? So plug that in to the soundboard so you can turn it up. Now we need to get the click to the band. So let's take another XLR cable. We'll plug it into the click DI. And if you have in-ear monitors, everybody's church setup is different on this. If you have in-ear monitors, then you just need to do the same thing you did with the tracks. Just plug this into the snake or into your soundboard and get that channel just to your band's in-ear monitors or however they're going to be hearing the click track. So you plug that in. Then when you press play in Prime, you will have a click on the left-hand side and you will have tracks on the right. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, my church doesn't have in-ear monitors, so what do I do there? If you have in-ear monitors, you've probably climbed the hardest mountain of all of this. But I'll tell you what, I ran tracks for 5 years and I never heard the click. I led worship and I never heard the click because we didn't have in-ear monitors at my church. You can still do this if you don't have in-ear monitors at your church. It's really easy. Basically, you set it up the same way we already have set this up, except for that, instead of sending the click to the soundboard, what you're going to do is you're going to send the click directly to the drummer. So let me talk to you a little bit about that first. What you're going to need to do is get one of these, a little mini mixer. And you can probably buy a mixer on Amazon for maybe $40. You only need a 2-channel mixer. This one's a 4-channel. This is overkill actually for what you need. You really only need something simple like 2 channels. And you get a little mixer like this and you plug it in and you put it back by your drummer. Then what you do is you're going to go ahead and take that click that we plugged in over here and we're going to plug the click into channel 1 of the mixer. Now what we're going to do is maybe your drummer has a monitor on the floor back by him. What we're going to do is we're going to unplug that monitor and we're going to take that cable that was plugged into the monitor and we're going to plug that into channel 2 on the mixer. Then we're going to get a pair of headphones, any pair of headphones, and plug that into the mixer. And your drummer can now wear these headphones and the drummer will now be able to control, on channel 1, he can control the volume of the click that we're sending from Prime. So you can control the volume of the click. And on channel 2, he can control whatever mix you were sending to that floor monitor wedge. So let's just say in that floor monitor you were sending acoustic guitar and lead vocal and maybe a keyboard or the tracks. Then now it's sending into channel 2 on the mixer. So basically your drummer now has a pair of in-ear monitors that now he can use to listen to the tracks, listen to the click, and all you have to do is let's just say the drummer is controlling the tracks. You put the iPad back by the drummer. The drummer would start the song, and then he would go ahead and click everybody off to start the song, like 1, 2, 3, 4. And then everybody can then start in time together. So your drummer will have to practice the click. He'll need to be able to know how to play to a click track, but it's really easy to do. It just takes practice. It's like riding a bike. Once you do it a couple times, it just becomes natural to you. And honestly, you won't want to not play with a click again. So, setting all of this up, connecting it to your sound system can seem overwhelming at first. Like, how am I going to do this? But it's actually really simple. And you can do it whether you have in-ear monitors at your church, or you can do it if you don't have in-ears at all. You just need to set up a mini mixer. Now, if you want to get super geeky and nerdy with this stuff and maybe use multi-outs, sending every single track of Prime out to its own different output on your soundboard, you can do that. And we have other videos that walk you through that. That's called multi-outs. So check out that. You can just search on YouTube for those videos. But this is the easiest way to set up all your tracks and connect it to your sound system. I hope this helps you. Enjoy.